What is going on, good people? Welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, the only live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports all the time. I'm Sports Director Trayvon Miles.
That's right, and I'm Brandon Bossert. Welcome on into the show. We've got an action-packed show for you tonight for the next 35 minutes, so you don't need to touch that dial. Don't go anywhere.
Exactly right, Brandon. Football is officially over for us, but that does not signify a shortage of things for us to do.
Oh, absolutely not, Trey. If anything, we've just slowed down just a little bit, but Delaware spring sports have kept us busy this week, and we have to start with a highly anticipated game on the softball diamond. Yeah,
that's exactly right. We'll begin with the one we thought would be one of the best matchups this week. 8-2 Sussex Tech took the short trip to see 6-1 Lake Forest today. Now, Tech came in third in the entire state with 91 runs through their first 10 games, averaging over 9 runs per game. Two top teams in the state, and defense was a story early in this one. Skylar Copio striking out the batters. She had 9 strikeouts. Bottom of the first, Kayla Evans reaching out for the ball while keeping her foot stretched on the base for the out.
Trey.
Game scoreless, headed into the third inning. In the third, the bats get going. 2 Ravens on. Carly Penrod sending a shot through the defense, bringing home 2 runs from second and from third.
All right, and then it's Linnea Lewis stepping up to the plate right here. And she's going to get a hold of that one. Ooh. Down the third base line. That's going to bring in another run. Tech puts up a 4 spot in the third inning. Jump ahead now, top of the 7th. Same score here, and the Ravens going to add some insurance. It's Kruger racking up the RBIs, brings home a runner from second. 2 RBIs on the day for the senior. Few batters later, it's Linnea Lewis again getting it past the shortstop's glove into left field to bring her sister Shania home as Sussex Tech. They hold on for the 7-0 win over Lake Forest. Impressive win today.
We had good pitching today. This was our first shutout of the year. We also have a lot of hitters up and down the lineup. That enables us, when some of them aren't hitting well, we've got others to pick them up. So we can generate runs, and when we get the ball in the gap, we can get a lot of extra bases. When we put that all together, that'll get you some runs.
Now, first of all, Brandon, I'm glad to see that these teams are playing. We are into the season now that we didn't get to see any at all last year after the pandemic kind of froze everything. Now, I will say that the last time we saw Sussex Tech softball in 2019, they were one of the best and most explosive teams in the entire state. That team back in 2019 went to the second round of the DIAA playoffs. But the funny thing about this is that the sophomores that were on that team are seniors on this team now. So that's what we're dealing with when it comes to spring sports. A lot of teams have unknowns, but when you have a steady program like Sussex Tech does, you're usually all right.
That is very true, Trey. Not too surprising to see Sussex Tech rolling along once again this season. Like you said, back in 2019, this team reeled off a dozen straight victories before their second round loss in the playoffs. So Tech, they play really good defense. They have a strong lineup up there in Georgetown. How good do they stack up against Smyrna, Central, Laurel, and some of these other teams? Well, they've lost against a couple of them already.
Yeah.
I'd say they're probably a tier below them, but watch out if this team gets hot at the right time. They can be trouble come playoff time.
Yeah, we saw how good their bats were in a short amount of time.
All right, now let's turn our attention to the lacrosse field. A great matchup in Georgetown today. Sussex Academy 7-0 on the year, taking on Sussex Tech. Just 1 loss so far in 2021. Academy was off and running early on. They shot out to a 4-0 lead, and Peyton Hagee went to work in the net. She stood tall all game long. Tech had a hard time getting anything going on offense. Meanwhile, the Seahawks offense impressive. Madison Leeper taking it to the net, deposits for the goal. Then later, check out the moves by Shelby Manlove, switching hands. Not a Raven there to stop her. She sneaks that bouncer by. Seahawks 7-2 at the break. But hey, Tech comes roaring back. Natalie Hunter, Ava Dunn right here getting back-to-back goals. And then another from Hunter as they close the gap to just 2. Wow. Now this was a test for the Seahawks today. How good are they? Well, they would answer pretty darn good. They reeled off 13 unanswered goals over the next 20 minutes of play. Trey, this team is impressive to watch on the field. They go ahead 20-5 in the final minutes of this one. And hey, next Friday, we've got our eyes on the game of the week. Sussex Academy will take on the Queens of the Lacrosse Field in Delaware, Cape Henlopen, so watch out for that.
Yeah, we will be there. Lake Forest boys hosting Dover on Monday, a great game. The Senators out to a hot start. Wally Money, is that his real name, Kenny? Sprinting through the defense, cashing in.
Straight cash,
for the game's
homie.
opening score. Next Dover possession, Tyre Trot from 20 yards out, putting a bouncer in. The Senators up 2-0. Now Lake down at home, not out of it. Brandon Tice driving, gonna get one past the keeper. He had a hat trick in the first half. Then Tice passing to Cole Dempsey. Dempsey firing over the top. Lake goes on a 7-3 run to end the half. Senators come out of the break firing. Zach Brown coming around from X, and he's going to score. Then check out the trickery. The Congress of Senators is what we are calling this.
Who's got it?
Who has the ball? It's going to be Trot. He rockets one into the net. Dover takes a 2-point lead with 3 minutes to play. Might be too much time. Tice driving through one more time to cut it to 1. Now 16 seconds left to play. The Spartans with the last chance to force overtime, but the ball is knocked loose there and recovered. Lake gets a few shots off, but Jason Centillo blocks all of them as Dover holds on late, my goodness, for the 11-10 win.
You know, 14's a great shooter, so is 11. I was telling my defense, just lock him off at all costs. Came down, just try to step to the ball, get out of there.
Number 14 is about to get the ball. I gotta hold him. So what I did was just took away his right hand and I just did the best I could.
I had to be a team leader and had to play hard. So second half, I came out on a mission, promised myself 3 goals, and I did just that.
All right, another big-time baseball matchup from earlier this week. This one featured the top teams in the state, and atop the Henlopen North, 1-loss Central visiting 1-loss Cape. Cape down 1 with the bases full for freshman Gage Joseph. He punches that pitch out into center field. 2 runs coming in to score. Vikings with a 4-run third inning, but the Knights would rally. Let's check out the scene right here. 1 out, bases loaded in the 6th. Central down 2. Cole Jester lines it down the line and left. 2-run score, and we are tied at 5. They are fired up,
yes, sir,
out there in Lewis. Cape committed 5 errors on the day, including this one right here. Troy Morris reaching safely. Central scores 4 in the 6th, led 7-5. Now, not many clubs might fall under the pressure, but Cape erupted for 10 runs in their half of the 6th. There's Gage Joseph again, this time going all the way to the fence. And then right here, another triple brings in all 3 runs. Joseph's triple was the biggest hit of the afternoon. Cape wins this one by a final of 15-7.
Yeah, we didn't stop battling the whole game. We got the hits where we needed them and got the runs where we needed them. I think we're going to go all the way. If we keep battling and not giving up and keep getting runs every inning when we need them and winning every inning, I think we can make it all the way.
All right, so we've seen baseball, softball, girls lacrosse, boys lacrosse. So the other sport going on this spring is girls soccer. We had a top 10 matchup last night just off of Route 1 in Milford as the Lady Buccaneers, Daniel Johnson's loving it, they hosted Polytech. Polytech's the last unbeaten team in the Henlopen. The wind was out of control. Neither team had much success. Poly gets the long pass here. Madison Barber looks promising. Bay Rothermel is there to clear things up. Other end, the Bucks looking to break the tie. Riley Menziger's shot is going to be picked up by Delaney Dillon. This is a scoreless game at halftime. Second half, Polytech completely dominating the time of possession, keeping the ball on their half the entire third quarter. But the Bucks keeper, Allison Perry, was amazing. She stopped everything. We'd be tied with 3 minutes to play in regulation. The Panthers get another corner kick. Perfect from McKinley Boyce off the head of Julia Coleman. Take a look at that, and that would prove to be the game winner as Polytech stays unbeaten with a 1-0 win over Milford.
It was a lot harder than normal. I think if it wasn't as windy, we would have had a lot more control, even though we had most of the control over the game. I had a feeling because it was like right in the middle of the box, and if someone didn't get that, I'd be a little disappointed. So
I practice a lot of corners, and I'm not really afraid to like get my head on it. So I just tried to use like all my power, just head in the goal, and then it just went in.
So, Brandon, in my mind, a few things stand out. First of all, this is the season that the Henlopen usually dominates championships. We know how we do in the springtime. We know how dominant Cape Girls Lacrosse is. Cape Boys won it all in 2019. Smyrna Softball and Dover, Cape, and Sussex Tech Baseball were all in the DIAA quarterfinals the last time we had a season. So I look forward to seeing which teams can win titles this time around the year instead of just making the playoffs like we've seen in football and basketball.
Yeah, Trey, that is a good point. The Henlopen normally seems to dominate these spring sports, but one team I want to talk about that could be breaking up the party a little bit is Sussex Academy.
Right. Yes.
The girls lacrosse team out there. They've outscored opponents 147-23 this season, and they are a fun team to watch. They have a number of players who can score the ball, who can take it from midfield down to the crease by themselves. They work the ball around. They win ground balls. And from what I've seen, they don't really get rattled too much. Sussex Tech was making a run at them today, and they didn't flinch. They go out there and score 13 straight goals. So this is going to be a fun game to watch next week on Friday. We've got potentially unbeaten Academy against the 11th time state champs up there in Cape Henlopen. Let's see how the Seahawks stack up against the champs. I can't wait.
That will be an amazing game to watch. I cannot wait to see that one. All right, that's going to do it for the A block. We're taking a quick commercial break, but when we return, we're reintroducing you to another superstar athlete on After the Whistle. Keep it here. You're watching the Delmarva Sports Insider.
I'm Cody Dimes from Sussex Tech Baseball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.